So the other day, I sent a verification request on Twitter, right? Because they had this closed for a while, and they ended up reopening it. And I was like, you know what? I better go ahead and do it because, alhamdulillah, thank God I've amassed a large following, and it's necessary. It's good to have it just for the sake of people knowing that it's the right account. As a journalist, people rely on the information you put out. It has to be accurate and know that they're getting it from the right one. So in any case, I sent it in, and the requirements that they ask for are pretty straightforward. Okay, so I want to show you the requirements that they ask for, because this is not just for journalists. Obviously, you don't just have to be a journalist. You can also be an actor. You could be a singer. You could be a politician. You could be just a public figure. You could be, someone who works in an embassy. You could be someone who is an ambassador. Government institutions, they get Twitter accounts verified all the time. So it's, something just for the sake of making sure that it's a verified source and that everything is correct, right? So let me just show you the requirements over here on the Twitter website, okay? Here we go. So if we look up journalists, okay, news organizations and journalists, they say any official accounts of qualifying news organizations, as well as individual accounts of journalists employed by qualifying organizations, may be verified if the account is public, does not have protected tweets, and refers directly to the name and official URL of the qualifying organization. Okay, so this includes newspapers, magazines, broadcast, cable, satellite, streaming TV, and radio news networks, stations and programs, digital news publishers, podcasts, and similar media, and must adhere to recognized professional standards for journalism, such as those laid out by, and pay attention to this, the International Federation of Journalists, right here, okay? Independent or freelance journalists may be verified if they can provide at least 3 bylines or credits in qualifying publications published within the 6 months prior to applying. Okay. Pretty straightforward, right? Pretty straightforward. So I go to apply, and they ask for 3 bylines. Okay. So I sent them 3 articles that I wrote and were published in the last 6 months for RT, right? I wrote one about Palestine, about the onslaught against Gaza. I wrote one about the spy cops, these authoritarian bills that they've passed in the UK, spy cops, overseas operations bill. God, it's hard to keep up with them. And the anti-protest bill. And then the other article was also about Syria, I believe. I don't know. I've written a few now for RT. So definitely, more than 3, no problem. And I sent them all my videos for RT as well, right? So I've also done an equal amount of videos. This is just within the last month. Never mind the last 6 months. This is just the last month already. I have all of this to show them. I also sent them a link to my television program on Press TV, okay? A television program, a broadcast. So not just articles and videos. There's also a television program involved on satellite. I sent them a link to my biography on Press TV, which is, by the way, this is another option to get yourself verified on Twitter. So you can pick, do I show them 3 bylines, or do I show them my biography on the website of a news organization? I did both. I gave them more than just 3 bylines and also the biography. I sent them my website. I sent them my YouTube channel, right? We're over 40,000 subscribers already. Amazing, right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm blessed. And what happens? Oh, sorry, we couldn't verify you. Look, this is what they sent me, man. Check this out. Can you believe this? They said, we've reviewed your request to have your Twitter account verified. This account will not be verified because it does not meet our criteria at this time. If you'd like to review our guidelines for being verified, please visit our help center. If you believe the account may be a good candidate for verification in the future, we encourage you to submit again after 30 days. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? It doesn't meet our criteria. Why can't you explain how that doesn't meet your criteria? I mean, I'm honestly astonished. I literally work 3 fucking jobs. Not 1 job, not 2 jobs, 3 jobs as a journalist. 3. I got my YouTube, right? Independent journalist, my YouTube channel since day 1. I have a television program on Press TV, a weekly television program. I'm a contributor with RT, articles, videos. And who knows what next, inshallah, right? What is this? 3 jobs, not 1, not 2, 3. You know, I can maybe understand, maybe, if I had only the YouTube thing. Because, you know, I don't know what their thing is with independent journalists, what they would consider that. I don't know. It wouldn't make it any less journalistic. It's just because, you know, having a broadcast, being a contributor on, I mean, 2 of the biggest outlets, some of the biggest outlets in the world, is more than enough. Not 1, 2 outlets. What is this? What is this? Listen, I don't care about your opinion of me or your opinion of RT or your opinion of Press TV, you know, who all do excellent, magnificent anti-imperialist work. They said, I just read you the requirements. They said at least 3 bylines published within the last few months. And I also did the other option with the biography. So what is this, man? What is this? What is this? And it's not just me, huh? It's not just me. They've done this also with Danny Haifong, right? So you guys know Black Agenda Report, right? So Danny and Roberto, so Danny Haifong and Roberto Servent, they wrote this book, American Exceptionalism, right? And I had Danny on the show to talk about it. They're such awesome people. Everyone at Black Agenda Report is just an absolute gem. I mean, really, Glenn, Margaret, Danny, Roberto, they're just great. I love them, really. I hope they're watching. Shout out to you guys. And they were very kind enough to have me do an interview on Black Agenda Report. This is like almost a year ago. I don't know, it was back in, I think, August, September last year. And Danny has also not been verified. Look, he commented under my thread. Look what they say here. Same thing happened to me. Yeah, why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? You know why they do this? They do this because they only want to legitimize Western, pro-Western voices. Guess who's also never been verified? Julian Assange. You know, the guy we just talked about who's facing 175 years in jail for what? For journalism. Founder of WikiLeaks. 100% accuracy reporting. What is that? We know exactly what this is. This is an effort to undermine, to subvert, dissenting voices, adversarial voices who don't conform 100% to, Western imperialist narratives, all of the crap propaganda that comes out of the West. That's what it is, right? I've seen ambassadors, foreign dignitaries, ambassadors who have not been verified. How do you not verify an ambassador? That's the ambassador. He's a state official. He's a foreign dignitary. Oh, that's right. From a country that the U.S. doesn't like. Now I get it. It's really funny when people think that Twitter is a private company, or they think that Facebook and all these big tech companies are private. They're absolutely not private. They're literally the opposite of that. Not only do we know from the Snowden leaks that they're like this with the government, like this, for going all the way back over a decade already and more and beyond. When Microsoft had already put a backdoor in what was it, Windows 98? In 98, they had already put an NSA backdoor in Windows back then. So not only that, not only do we have proof thanks to Glenn's work and Snowden's revelations, but also just by the simple fact that they have interfered in other countries' elections directly. So, in 2009, when you had these protests in Iran that, the election results are illegitimate, the State Department, the U.S. State Department, contacted Twitter and told them not to do any maintenance on the website. And Twitter agreed. They literally help the U.S. State Department enforce, implement, carry out their foreign policy objectives. Literally interfering in the election because they wanted people to continue using Twitter to, spread the word, to hype up protests and come out against the government, right, in Iran. That's what it was. And you know damn well in 2010, 2011, during the so-called Arab Spring, depending on the country, they also, social media, Facebook, Twitter, they were used as vehicles for that, right? But this is the least of the issue. We know from the PRISM program alone is astonishing in of itself, right? So we have much more concrete evidence than that. But just to go back here, I'm just saying that this is a process carried out by a human being. Twitter had removed verification applications. They stopped them for a while now and redesigned the whole thing with the intent of making it more accurate, of making sure that who gets verified is, conform to their standards or whatever. So we know very well that they've given a lot of care and attention to this, right? It's not some bots doing it, some random computer. Okay? There are people who are actively deciding who can bear the mark of legitimacy and who can't. And it's not just Twitter, it's Facebook, it's Instagram. You have to understand something, man. This is not just about like, I want a stupid fucking blue check mark next to my name. This is about knowing that, you don't have fraudulent accounts. This is about knowing that people can come and trust the information they got because they know that's your account. Do you understand? And when we also look at the fact that they use this to undermine dissenting voices and make them seem less legitimate and less, less legitimate and correct. That's what it's about, right? When you go and see a blue check mark said something, well, I think people are waking up already to what a blue check mark is. But, usually before, for a long time at least, most people, when they see a blue check mark and they see, this is a verified account, it's just subconsciously you assume that the opinion or the fact or the information or whatever they're saying is true and correct and to be believed. And so it's just weird that you have a pattern of people who are, anti-imperialist or, who expose Western narratives who are not getting it. That's it. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, when you have almost 100,000 followers on Twitter, I think I'm at 76,000 now, alhamdulillah, thank God. Just for the sake of fraud, just for the sake of accuracy, you should be giving that out, dude. And I work 3 jobs as a journalist. I'm more than qualified for your standards, and they won't give it. What does that tell you? You go and make what you will of that. I told you what happened. You go and make what you will of that. All right? And not just me, of course. I gave you other examples. Make what you will of that. All right? So, just a little story I thought I'd share with you. That's what I wanted to tell you. All right? And speaking of social media, just before we end this segment, again, we have a Telegram channel now, so you'll get updates about live streams, about new videos, new articles. You should definitely go and join it. The URL is very simple. It's t.me, so tango.mama.echo/Medhurst. t.me/Medhurst. All right? That's the way to go. And you'll get all these notifications there for live streams, articles, videos, tweets. And then, of course, we have Rockfin, ROKFIN.com. This is an alternative to YouTube. There's no censorship. I don't have to worry about putting my own country's name in the title of the video. This is good. And all of your favorite channels are on there. You can find Jimmy Dore, Graham Elwood, Whitney Webb, Vanessa Beeley, Convo Couch, Hardlands Media, you name it. Lee Camp, Rania Khalek, Kevin Gustola, everyone is on there. So it's really worth checking out. It's completely free, well worth it. ROKFIN.com. And there's a Substack, right? RichardMedhurst.substack.com. So I'm publishing articles there. And I just did one on Assange, right? Debunking all these myths. You saw the video, right? So I went through all of the myths and that they say about him. Oh, and one more thing before I forget. You see the IFJ card over here? So this is one thing that I wanted to mention to you. If you look at the Twitter guidelines for getting verified, what do they say down here? What do they say down here? They mention the International Federation of Journalists. Dude, I literally sent them my press card just like the one you saw Assange has right there, the IFJ card. I sent them my union card from the National Union of Journalists. I sent them all of this proof. Doesn't matter, right? They don't care that you're an accredited journalist. They don't give a shit. Same with Instagram. I sent them my IFJ press card. Don't care. Same with Facebook. Don't care. Weird, right? How weird. Something odd. I don't know what it could be. Anyway, we'll see, right? We'll see. So there you go.